Before we came to America, we were living in the east by the Nile River, living in luxury, enjoying freedom, justice, and equality. We wore silken robes and slippers of gold. We were the wealthiest and the wisest people, I'm told. Now we are the poorest of the poor. Nobody wants us at their door. So my friend, it's easy to tell, white man heaven is a black man hell. It's easy to tell, white man heaven is a black man hell.
So the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said that Master Farad Muhammad said 6 words to us, and these were the 6 most powerful words that he spoke. He said, accept your own and be yourself. Accept your own. The Caucasians who brought our fathers into slavery desired to take us away from our own people, our own culture, our own religion, our own God, our own language. So we have grown up in America away from our own mind, away from our own selves, and so we have been actually indoctrinated with an alien mentality.
10,000 fearless men, because we're going to have to challenge the things that are destroying our community. So this ain't no punk time. This ain't no temple time, mosque time, or church time. All the singing and shouting and preaching is over. Get in them streets now, block by block. We're going to have to clean it up. The airwaves is not enough. The television screen is not enough. You got to put boots on the ground who are trained and are willing to make the sacrifice of life itself to see our community made a decent place to live.
Attention. Drill.
Soldiering is a part of the Nation of Islam, and it readies all of us to obey the commands of God. Now some will ask, well, why military drill? Because this is what produces the camaraderie.
Facebook and Instagram thought that they could ban the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan.
But in reality, they can't, because he already lives in us and millions of others.
قل أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين.
In the name of Allah, Master Farad Muhammad, the one true and living God, to whom praise is due forever. I bear witness that there is no God but Allah, and that the Prophet Muhammad is his messenger. Peace, family, and welcome back to another wonderful episode of WHID-FM. WHID-FM is your personal platform for those of us striving to follow the life-giving, life-saving teachings of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, as given to us by his premier people, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, gathered right here in this virtual meeting place to answer that most critical question: what is Islam doing for me? Tonight it is Sunday, July 19th, 2026. And at this time, we're going to turn it over to our guest co-host for tonight. She's our sister Latifah Muhammad. She's a powerhouse in the educational community, all the way from New Mosque number 24 in Richmond, Virginia. She's an MGT beloved all across the nation. So at this time, we're going to turn it over to you, Sister Latifah, to get us started for our program. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam, sir. How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm blessed, thank Allah. In the most holy name of Allah, the beneficent, the merciful, I bear witness that there is no God but Allah, and I bear witness that Muhammad is his messenger. And we give praise and thanks to Allah for coming to us in the person of Master Fard Muhammad, to whom praises are due forever, and we thank him for raising the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, who is the exalted Christ and eternal leader of the nation of Islam. And I cannot thank both of them enough for blessing me to be here at this time with this guest, and for his introducing me to the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. So I am so happy to greet the viewing audience, listening audience, and our special guest, Assalamu alaikum. And the bio for our brother, Abdul Halim Muhammad. The Honorable Brother Minister Louis Farrakhan has given the believers a mandate and divine instructions to share flowers while we live. And tonight we're blessed to have a very, very special show with a very, very special guest, Brother Abdul Halim Muhammad. Brother Halim is not only a precious pioneer, but his life has been a true testimony of duty, definition, and unselfish sacrifice for his nation as a whole, and Muhammad Mosque number 24 in Richmond, Virginia specifically. And through this tremendous journey, he has had beside him his beautiful wife, Sister Student Captain Emeritus, Sister Halima Muhammad, and his family. On behalf of the many believers in the Nation of Islam who have been counseled by and shared up-close encounters with our brother, the entire WHID-FM team, we extend sincere love and gratitude to Brother Halim personally. Above all and most importantly, we thank Allah who came to us in the person of Master Fard Muhammad. We thank the most honorable Elijah Muhammad and their servant who is still among us, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. And before we get into our program and hearing from Brother Halim himself, please allow us to read an intimate letter from the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan regarding a recent birth anniversary celebration for Brother Halim. And this reads, and this is from the desk of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, National Representative of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and the Nation of Islam. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, I bear witness that there is no God but Allah, and I bear witness that Muhammad is his messenger. May 22nd, 2026. Assalamu alaikum. To Brother Halim Muhammad, family, believers, and friends, happy 80th birth anniversary to my dear Brother Halim. I am honored to be asked to say a few words about your courageous work in the beginning of our efforts to rebuild the work of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Though I am getting up in age, I can never forget the service that you rendered to the believers and the people of Richmond, Virginia. And I can never forget the strength that you demonstrated that was an arm that I could lean on to hold me up in those days. Allah states in the Holy Quran, that he will never waste the work of a worker, male or female. Your work will be remembered by God, and your reward is with him. Happy birth anniversary again. And may Allah bless you with many more, and bless you to see the victory of the apostle, for whom we have given our lives, and the resurrection of our people. Best wishes to you and your family. I am your brother and servant, Louis Farrakhan, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, servant to the lost foundation of Islam in the West. Assalamu alaikum. And there he is, Brother Halim. Assalamu alaikum, Brother Halim.
Assalamu alaikum, my sister
How
Latifah.
are you? Yes, sir. How are you?
Wa alaikum salam.
Say we meet
Yes,
over
ma'am.
the airways by Allah's grace and mercy.
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm
I'm
tremendously blessed to be in your presence. And we are happy
Yeah.
that you are joining us tonight on WHID-FM. Everybody
And
is
well,
waiting
it's a
to hear
blessing.
from you.
Go ahead.
So,
Sound
all
is
right.
slightly.
Can you hear me well?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to ask you our first question. Of course, the show is
You're breaking
what
up.
is-
It's breaking up. I hear a word, then it breaks off.
okay. I don't know if you can see the chat,
Can
but
you
let's
hear me
start
now?
because I can ask you one question and you can talk all night. And I'm going to start with the big question. What has Islam done for you? So if you don't hear anything else tonight, what has Islam done for you? Do you have your
Islam.
phone?
First of all, I want to say in the
Oh, okay.
yes, ma'am, I do. But is there any can you hear me without any distraction? I'm breaking up on your end, but I did hear that Islam done for me. So the first thing I would like to do is greet the world and the believers with the greetings of Assalamu alaikum. In the name of Almighty Allah, Master Farad Muhammad, to whom praise I do forever, we forever thank him for the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, the exalted Christ, and for his divine servant in our midst, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. And we thank Allah and the minister and the messenger for the wife of Minister Farrakhan, Mother Khadija Farrakhan. We forever thank her for being such a helpmeet to our minister. With that being said, Islam has been all in the world for me. I thank Allah for the year that I first heard the teachings in 1967. And I thank Allah for blessing me to know what I wanted to be and to be a fulfiller of what I wanted to do, which was to help the messenger raise our people. I find it very interesting that I was born in 1946, and that's the year the most honorable Elijah Muhammad came home from prison in 1946. And I equate that with being in the right place at the right time, growing up, to hear the word and the teachings of the messenger himself, to help spread the message to get to our people. And for 7 years, started in Mosque number 15 at the age of 21. And so much to that so much looking back that I think a lot for, because at that age we were going full speed to sell the Muhammad Speak newspaper at that time. And I came in under Thomas Fox in March 15 under the great guidance of Minister John Shabazz. Abdul Halim was his name later. But it was brothers like that helped gave us the spirit and the guidance of doing the work of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. And I also came in under the great Captain Sam, which was Brother Abdul Rahman, Minister Rahman. These were some of the people that we learned to be motivated and inspired to do the work of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. And I thank Allah for the love of the messenger. That great love of him has helped me to start the work of rebuilding under Minister Farrakhan in the 70s, in 1977. So we thank Allah for all these great things. The messenger, the Most Honorable Muhammad exalted Christ, the messenger, gave us the way to go, which saved our life. And in that year was the year that the first book came out of How to Eat to Live, book 1, in 1967. These are just some of the things I'm remembering about the year. And then it was the proper eating, of eating what is from the teachings of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, and the guidance that they gave us through the leadership of himself and of those who represent him was pride. Not only did they life kept us going in his and knowing who our open enemy is, the white man of America and European together. So we love for the great things that letting us know that this is the judgment. And as he would state to us, hurry, 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 come follow me, because America is on her complete gap. And we see it today, many of our people who don't know the teachings and don't heed the call, they fall, and they fall quick. We look at the young brother in Mississippi, only getting on a bunch of beasts on a boat out there with the devil. It could have been a bird. But so we thank Allah for these great teachings. From that period to this period, our meetings back in the day used to be held about 2 o'clock. And our FOI class would be early on Sunday mornings at one point. Then we would break down and clean the mosque for regular meetings. And just to see how people come into this teaching make a great change, a complete 360, made me feel worthy of made me feel good about what we were doing. You know, it was like being a spiritual fireman. We saw that the world was on fire and we were trying to save as many of our people as possible. And so I thank Allah for the days. And, you know, I'm just so grateful. So grateful that Allah doing his work bless me such as yourself and your family. And Rosella and
Yes, sir. I was going to ask
your
you
father, your family. This is what they created for us for one another.
Well, I can bear witness that
So I
you.
hope I'm not talking too.
No, sir. You and your family have been, as the angels for my family, because you came to us when the minister first stood up. And I would like for you to talk about, today we have the brothers doing the Savior's tours, and they're moving out in mass in the communities. When you all came to us, you were coming into the homes and bringing the teaching. Can you talk about how the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan had you coming into our homes and starting study group cells the way you started us when the minister first started the rebuilding?
All right. When when we first started up under the rebuilding phase, the minister had us studying respect with the title of his radio program, Respect for Life. And we had study guides that we would have studied to purify ourselves and clean up and to get proper understanding of what we were trying to do and doing. And so we would have studies in our homes. We started in my house, apartment on the south side at that time. And then we grew out to other areas of the city and other areas of the communities, such as coming through Fredericksburg and coming from meetings with Brother Kareem, which was Brother Linwood at that time. And we just had a great up and down connection. And everywhere we went, we tried to invite people to sit in this circle. It wasn't about a title or anything of that nature. We all were trying to come back to Elijah Muhammad under the guidance of Farrakhan, which is to me the greatest spiritual general to ever live. For him to do what he did, and for me to be able to bear witness to this, because I before the fall and then to witness how he established the teachings after regaining the spirit of the messenger all over again. For him to do that, I had to stand up with him. I must say, like the minister didn't cause no bloodshed. And he built the love and the family together. Kept us underground for over 3 years.
Yes, sir.
He came up to make a public, speech to the masses. And we got a good, strong foundation of brotherhood, sisterhood. Put clean glass up beside the dirty glass and compare study materials. The great brother Jabril Muhammad was very much instrumental in us too, developing study guides and understanding the mission of the resurrection. So I think Allah, when the minister stood up again, my function was to circulate the word, get it out there. I got it out to the radio stations and TV stations and to people in general as well. So it was an honor to be able to be a helper and to be on scene, to be in that first class of believers to back up in 77 with brothers like Brother Akbar and Brother out of Atlanta, Brother Wild You know what I'm talking about. It used to be
Brother Whitehead?
um man, I can't get it out. Brother Muhammad
Brother
Whitehead,
Sharif?
thank you, Brother
Yeah, Brother
Whitehead.
Whitehead was with him in
They
the
were
beginning.
some of
Yes, sir.
right. Brother Whitehead, myself, uh Brother Larry, which was Brother Akbar, they was some of the first that and Brother Jabril, they were some of the first labors and things that I was and Kareem was some of the first that I was in the midst of on a regular basis. So I thank Allah for those days.
Yes, sir. And the traveling that you did, and as you said, you did a lot with the circulation. At that time, of course, it was the cassette tapes. And so can you talk about how important it is that we listen? Because that
Yes,
was
ma'am.
almost like a mission for you to make sure that the minister's tapes and videos were played all across the airwaves up and down the
Yeah,
East
I
Coast
thank
and
Allah for the
Mid-Atlantic.
trust. Right. Uh, because right, all praise due to Allah. Yeah, when we first started, um, we had to have ways to spread the message. And I thank Allah for blessing me with the idea of asking the minister, would he allow me to tape on cassette with high-speed duplicators to show what I thought would be a good way to spread the message, and he agreed. But at that time that we made that demonstration, a white fellow that I knew, he had high-speed duplicating equipment, and the display and the performance of it turned out so well that I told the minister and asked him, would he consider doing that for the nation, and he agreed. And so Brother Joshua took it from there.
That's right.
And I'll never forget the visit that I had with him. I flew out to Chicago, and he told me, he said, do you realize how Mr. Khomeini came back in power from exile? And I said, no, sir. He said, came through the cassette tape.
Right.
The same process that we use to rebuild and spread the message. And so I said, wow, that's really, really interesting. And the more people heard, the more they came to life, I was listening to the testimony of former Supreme Captain Sharif, and how he came into the knowledge of the minister was in the word of Islam was through the cassette tape, And he told his story on one of his interviews, and it made me smile, made me feel a part of his coming to life to help. And look what it produced. It produced the giant. And he told about how he was listening to Dr. King, and a brother came up the street with one of the minister tapes on blasting, and he said, "Great God Almighty, who is that?" And he borrowed the brother's tape and loaned the brother his tape, and so that's how he, enlightened him to come into the nation. And same thing I heard brother over in England. Even when minister was barred out, and before he was barred out, the word circulated through tapes. And tapes was not only a big way of getting the dead and waking that people back up who was in the nation, but it was a money maker as well. It helped generate plenty of profit for us, And then I think about the fact that the minister hadn't been back into New York at that time. Over 3 years or so before he went back into New York to reestablish the teachings of Islam, because of all the different things been said negatively and this, that, and other. But the word went there before he got there through his speeches on tape. And when we went there in 19, I believe maybe 80 or so, he made that great speech, "Give me liberty or give me death," up at New York City College.
That's
And
right.
the people could not wait to get a copy of the message after it was
That's right.
ready. We were breaking ground. We were spreading the message and breaking ground.
Yes, sir.
We were
I think
fishing,
that's
we were
another
fishing,
thing.
and,
Hmm.
it was a part of fishing.
The commitment that you and your family gave to us. Today, we have our study group on Wednesday night and we have our Friday study group. But under you all coming in when the minister was just restarting, you all had us somewhere every night. We would be in Doswell one night, we'd be in Fredericksburg one night, then we would travel up to DC and be with Brother Ibrahim and his family, and then we would go up to Plainfield and sit a night with Minister Kareem and his family. So can you talk about the importance of the study and being consistent in our study?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. It's very important, this study, because it gives us good guidance and great love, and it gives us development. My wife and I always loved fellowship with the believers, and that's another thing it helped do. It helped create good family fellowship. And in the early days, we traveled to back that minister up as he was single-handedly doing the work from. I've seen him teach in Washington on maybe Tuesday nights.
Yes.
At the I can't think of the sister's name now, but she had a like a hall named after her. You know what I'm talking about, down. And then on Wednesday nights he might be in Chicago, Fridays in Detroit, and he was crisscrossing the country doing work that those of us who loved him had to back him up by doing what we could do in our areas. We were trying to do the same thing he do, reach as many people as possible by going through major cities as well as small towns. We had to get this word out there. But they were beautiful days, and the studies, it was important, because it wasn't just, it was a master plan in getting us together, to create the love and the fellowship. And today with the self-improvement studies, it helped to give us real development on being a spiritual person as well as a good Muslim, So it helped cleans us up all the way. But yeah, we thank Allah much for those days of traveling with him. I think that name I was trying to think of was what was it? On Rhode Island Avenue. You know what I'm talking about. You're very familiar.
I can't remember, and hopefully before the show is over, both of us will remember. Yes, sir. You and your wife.
With calling names, I might get a little twisted.
Yes, sir. You and Sister Halima, we're blessed in Muhammad Mosque 24 to have both of you with us. And both of you made it through the transition of the fall and into the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan reestablishing the Nation of Islam. Can you talk about that period and maybe give some guidance as we look to the imminent departure of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, but the strength and what were some of the foundational pieces that helped you all to bridge and to be able to stand strong today?
I'm going to answer the best I can. You were breaking up a little bit, but I will say this. It all started with the great love we had for the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. The great love we had for the messenger, the exalted Christ, put us in position to love each other and to want to be there for one another. Halima, she loved the sisterhood as much as I loved the brotherhood. And she would often do things, to make sure that class would develop. The MGT. She worked hard and faithful. She did a lot of baking and cooking, as well as allowing me to help with the brothers. We did it together as far as the working. We both loved the messenger. We both loved the minister. We both loved the Nation of Islam. So I thank Allah for her. And at this point in her life, in my life, she's fighting illness with Parkinson, but she still loves the teachings. And I'm dealing with stroke effects, and I still love the teachings. So we're trying to make our word bond that there is no God but Allah. Muhammad is his apostle. And our death and our prayer and our sacrifice and our life is all for Allah. And we would like to think that we'll be of those, whatever it takes to free us, we'll be on that battlefield,
Yes, sir.
I know they talk about those who in the past that they call fearless over in the East, suicide bombers. I feel I would have that same spirit for the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad.
Yes, sir.
Walk into hell with gasoline all on me, free him and his minister. So
Praise be to
our
Allah.
love is supreme.
Praise be. Well, Brother Halim, I
Our
could
love is supreme.
sit and talk with you all night, because the history that we have in this journey, for all the years that you have, your 80 years, Allah has blessed me to spend at least 45 of them with you. And I thank you so much for everything that you've done for me and my family. And at this time, of course, there are others who want to talk to you. So I'm going to pass the torch to our co-host, Brother Wes Muhammad, one of the young soldiers who will now come and ask you some questions. So, Brother Wes.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam. In the name of Allah, the beneficent and merciful, I bear witness.
Wa alaikum salam.
But Allah and that Muhammad is his messenger. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam, Brother Wes.
Yes, sir. So I was just curious if you can tell us the story of how you got registered in the Nation of Islam.
Sir, say it again.
If you can tell us the story of how you got registered.
Hello?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yes, sir. I got registered in 1967 in Mosque number 15 on Bankhead Highway, 1225 Bankhead Highway, Atlanta, Georgia, under the great leadership of John Shabazz. John Shabazz later became Abdul Halim Muhammad. And he was one of the messengers, great teachers of Islam. In the early days, they used to call him Islam John, because he could teach the teaching in such a way that he would captivate you. And we was in the middle of the civil rights movement. We were in the middle of Dr. King. I was there when Dr. King was living. I was blessed to meet him and blessed to also be on scene. We were there when he was murdered, sad to say. and we received instruction from the Messenger of Allah, the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, about that critical time period. Well, we thank Allah much for those days too, because we had the Salam restaurant to open up in 1968. The great Salam restaurant and your supermarket. The nation was on the rise with businesses. And a lot of the brothers from the South participated in helping with that. And a lot of recruits went from Atlanta, went from Georgia to Chicago to work in the different businesses. And so it was much history in those early days that I never forget. Mother Clara Muhammad, the messenger's wife, the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad's wife, the exalted Christ's wife, she visited that mosque there because they were from Georgia, and she had a sister named Sister Rosa who looked just like her, identically almost. And to hear her talk about the Savior in the early days of the 30s, naming Wallace and things that, to hear that kind of personal talk in that era, those things were precious and would be forever remembered by me anyway. Yeah. Mosque 15 was one of the key mosques in the South. In papers, Muhammad Speaks, and other areas of fishing and bringing in new recruits, bringing in lost fans, we worked hard to back up our leader and teaching God. Yeah. March 15, I never forget those days. They were special days, March number 15. And then later coming to Richmond, Virginia around 1971, which was my physical home. Atlanta number 15 was my spiritual home. And far at the beginning. But coming to Richmond, I was blessed to meet the great minister Benjamin Muhammad, who the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad lived with in the early days back in the 30s. And he was a powerful representative and teacher too. So, these things help develop us and prepare us for the coming of the rebuilding season. Always said coming in under 67 is at the doom, and the 7th was the beginning of the rebirth. So it was a happy life for me to be able to be on scene to help in this work, And I tell you, when I think about Brother Donald, and I look at those beautiful grandsons of his, and his son as well, Brother Isaac, and his wife, but the then babies that we saw who ran on a new world. And they soldiering at a 5-10-year-old stage, so you can imagine what world we got coming in. And it was our job to open the door. Once we open the door, we know that there are many scholars and students. We want them, we will take the wisdom and check to make sure no harm come to them. And this is where I feel like my state of being is today.
Yes, sir. Can you hear me?
So we're happy to see the young ones coming into.
He's breaking up a little bit. Can you hear me?
You back?
Yes, sir.
It went dead.
If you can tell us how you went into the student ministry.
You there?
Yes, sir.
But Wesley.
Yes, sir. Can you hear me?
Hello?
Maybe having some connection issues.
I can hear you.
Okay, I think we're gonna try to get our brother reconnected. He was dropping some jewels, of course. Amazing pieces of history. Praise be to Allah. So while we wait for our brother to get reconnected, family, we just want to remind you that you are tuned in listening to WHID-FM. We want to thank you for tuning in and spending your valuable time with us, because without you, there would be no WHID-FM. Excuse me. If you have any suggestions, please feel free to send us an email at WHID1919@gmail.com. Also, please subscribe to WHID-FM on YouTube and follow us on Facebook if you have not had the chance to already. And our family, next week, inshallah, our guest will be Brother Student Minister Ernest Muhammad from Petersburg, Virginia. So make sure you tune in right back here on Sunday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for that wonderful episode. And we will be right back after these short messages.
Everybody join in this melody. That's the only way we're gonna be free. Everybody singing this sweet refrain. Sing this melody till it gets in your brain. Well, I'm talking to you, Muslim, Christian, and the Hebrew. Here's the thing to do, we got to unite or else we are through. Everybody singing.
Assalamu alaikum. This is your brother Abdul Muhammad, the owner of Supreme Styles Collections, an online haberdashery where we sell accessories, books, body butters, prayer rugs, even supplements. So we have what a man needs spiritually, physically, and mentally. And with our help in making our brothers into a well-made man and presentable to the community and world, just like you put a bow on top of a gift, you can purchase one of my bow ties and pocket squares handmade by me. They are the right size with the 2 dimples, the 3-inch clip, and a 12-inch matching handkerchief. So come on and start a new collection and check out our selection at SupremeStylesCollections.com. That's the new website. And also follow us on Facebook at Supreme Styles Collections. Also follow me on Facebook and Instagram at Abdul Muhammad. Thank you. Assalamu alaikum.
Damn.
Who taught you that?
Wow.
Hey, give me some love. That was beautiful. Good job.
This my me one right here.
Praise be to Allah, family. We just want to encourage you all to support Black independent education by purchasing a Supreme Bean Pie, because this world famous treat is not only delicious, but all proceeds are donated to MUI Chicago. So you can help us change our condition as a people, one pie at a time, by visiting the supremebeanpie.com to either purchase a bean pie or you can make a donation. The information will be on the website. Family, as you saw, we also have some of our believers in the Nation of Islam that have started their own businesses. We have our brother who's down here in Baltimore, our first officer, brother student minister Isaiah, who has started Peace God Apparel. So you saw he has some stylish pieces. You can pick those up from his website that you will find on his Instagram page under Peace God Apparel, if I'm not mistaken. Also, brother Muhammad, we saw he's selling some bow ties, some wonderful products. You can pick those up at Supreme Styles collections.com as well. And inshallah, our brother Abdul Halim should be ready to revisit us so we can get some more of his testimony. His, very extensive time in the Nation of Islam. Praise be to Allah. So we can see now. Oh, Halim, can you hear us? Okay,
Yes, sir.
praise be to Allah. So,
Go ahead. Let's try to see what happened then.
yes, sir. Praise be to
Because I
Allah.
only
So
heard you ask, hear you.
yes, sir. Yes, sir. My next question for you, before I turn it to Sister Alita for some of her questions as well, I'm curious, what is your personal understanding of what it means to be an FOI in the Nation of Islam? Question?
I only heard that in part. You asked what?
I was saying, what is your understanding of what it means to be an FOI? Your personal understanding.
Oh, okay. All praise Allah. To be an FOI, means to be highly civilized first, and to reach out with the great teachings of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad as a disciple and representative of his. To attract our people to the cause of Islam, entire submission to the will of Allah. Mastering we were trying to get to all of our people, that they be better, the men in particular, that we would be better men, husbands, fathers, nephews, and uncles, brothers, and to fight in the cause of Islam. fight in the righteous manner to rid our people off of dope, drugs, alcohol, tobacco. Our mission was one of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, and his mission was to clean us up. No stealing, no cheating, no big egos, being one humble black man, the fruit of Islam. Are you hearing me? I'm hoping that it's coming through.
Yes, sir. We hear you. Can you hear me?
The resurrector. At the
Can you hear me?
Can you hear me? I heard that. Can you hear me? Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Okay, yes, sir. So
Okay,
I guess we got better connection now.
Okay. All right. Are you hearing me?
Yes, sir. We hear you.
Yes, sir. We hear you. Did you hear my last reply? Yeah.
Okay, before we turn it over to Sister Louita, we did have a question from the audience as well.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. So Sister Dreamer was asking, well, first she says, Assalamu alaikum. May you tell us when and how you received your original Muslim name?
Always yes, sir. In 1984, I journeyed to Chicago to see, to worship with the believers in Chicago on a Sunday at the Final Call building. And it was a group of us in attendance. I was the only one from Richmond or from Virginia. The rest were from New Jersey and New York. And the minister was teaching that Sunday about how strong is the foundation. And it was during a period that different leadership was being placed and replaced. And so at the end of his speech that Sunday, he was welcoming those who was in attendance. Brother Hawk from New Jersey, from New York area. That was Brother Ronald, ex-steward at that time. And he received his name, Brother Hawk. And he had named a couple other brothers, believers, and in the audience. And then he said that he recognized me as good, and he Thomas was the good name of the disciple, but he had a better name, Brother Halim. And so that's how that came about. And from the Final Call building that night, we went over to the home of the minister, and had a little dessert and made prayer. And he told me at the end of the meeting to go and call my wife, go downstairs and call my wife and ask would she accept the name Halima Muhammad. And so that was in 1984. 1984 of November.
All praises due to Allah. That's amazing. You were given a holy name by the minister.
Right. And you know, I can only say all praises due to Allah because, you know, I wasn't expecting anything. I went to be there as a brother and to worship with him under his voice and guidance that day. My soul was yearning for good teaching that day, and so I went out to Chicago to the meeting at the Final Call building. Yeah. Of course, we accepted gladly. My wife was happy, and I was as well. And we're just trying to live up to that name. And I studied what, you know, when the minister give you a name like that, you got to study what it means. And it's about being patient and steadfast and devoted to the cause. So I was thankful to Allah that he viewed me in that way.
All praises due to Allah. I think that's a wonderful name. You know, that's a wonderful experience as well. Not many believers get names from the minister.
Right.
With
you know,
that, oh yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, I was just going to say, you know, because as a growing nation, we're going to have some ups and downs. We're going to have some trials and some tests, but we have to be patient with one another and have supreme love for each other. And so we were just trying to exemplify that by not letting anything run us away from the teachers, you know. And so he knew better than we knew what was going on in different areas, and to be steadfast mean that you had to have patience and love for what you're doing, you know. So I thank Allah for him saying to me in a spiritual term that you've been patient with the development of yourself and your people and your nation, you know. So, you know, because so many of us come in today and different things happen and we lead a cause, you know. So hopefully we'll be an example for ourselves and others too. Stay steadfast. And, you know, my wife and I always loved the believers who came before us. You know, there are many who came before us, and if we study their example, you know, those that was in the ranks years ago, like Brother Rahman, I always refer to him because he's one of the first Muslims I met that took me under his wing. And when you love the messenger and was diligent, real dedicated like that, it helps you appreciate. It always ain't gonna be easy, but you gotta stay strong. And I thank Minister Benjamin over and over and over for his dedication and loyalty to the Most High. And of course, without saying, we always thank the minister because he had a lot of trials and tests, but he stayed on his post. And he took his assignment to the next level when he resurrected us all, you know. But I think Allah put us in these positions to help us to do the work. Yeah. To do the work.
Absolutely. So, well, with that, I believe we should be able to turn it over to Sister Wheeler for her questions.
Yes, sir. Assalamu alaikum.
Nice talking to you. Wa alaikum salam, my sister. How you doing?
I'm doing fine, sir. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. I'm
This was
giving
really
thanks and
good.
praises to Allah.
Praise be to Allah. I almost forgot I had questions because I was taking notes and just enjoying all of the rich history. So you really kind of led right into what I wanted to ask you. And one of the questions that was in our chat was, how did you meet your wife? And the second question is, being in the nation as long as you have, I'm sure there were plenty of trials and tribulations. How did you endure the hardest one you had to experience, and how did you keep the faith?
Them some excellent questions there.
Praise be to
Beautiful
Allah.
questions, very powerful questions too.
Be to Allah.
First thing, by Allah's grace, by His mercy and grace, first of all, by His love and mercy and grace. I can't say it enough because really, I don't have anything to say except for Muhammad is the greatest. Allah is God, and whatever I say is only what the minister and the messenger says. But I will say this: I met my wife in 1970. I was flying. I was in Atlanta flying. I was in the mountains in Atlanta flying to Richmond, Virginia, which is where my mother lived, where I grew up at. And Allah put it together. Nothing just happened by accident. It so happened the flight that I came in on Eastern Airlines, I'll never forget it. A sister that was coming in from Atlanta on an earlier flight coming into Richmond that same day, she forgot a package or part of her clothing. And she was coming to the mosque. She knew some of the people in Richmond. And Minister Benjamin brought them to the airport that evening, to Richmond Bird Airport, to meet the plane that was coming in to retrieve her package, her luggage. That's the flight that I was coming in on. And my wife was in the MGT group that Minister Benjamin rode to the airport. And when he saw me, we knew each other. He knew me. I knew of him too. So when he saw me, he said, brother, you know how the older ministers used to do years ago, what you doing, how you doing, are you married? And I said, no, sir. I said, no, sir. Well, he said, well, I got plenty sisters here. And so I met my wife through that experience. And so I said it was by divine. It was not just something that accidentally happened. And I went back to Atlanta, but we stayed in touch. And when I came back to Richmond to make it home, that's when we got married in 72. So that was in 70, but we got married in 1972. So it's been about 53 years this August the 23rd. Wow. Just coming up August the 23rd, I think it'd be 53, 54 years. And she was the oldest of 14. She was the oldest girl of 14 children, which means that she was a great cook, great housewife, great engineer of, doing things, and had a great love for the sisterhood. And so Halima, her name was Verna at that time, Sister Verna. She worked in the school here that we had. And her mother was an MGT, Her father was a FOI, and in later life, when the nations fell, some of her family went to the masjid under Wallace Muhammad, and she and I, when we rekindle, because it caused a little separation for us for a minute, but when we regained our footing, I came for her, I took her to the minister's first appearance on Standing Up was at a church in Washington, D.C., 16th Street Baptist Church. Or the church was on 16th Street, I put it that way. And I went to meet him on a Saturday. My first talk with him, person to person, was on a Saturday. And so a brother named Brother Robin and I, we were together. He was the captain here in Richmond. And so that Saturday, when I met with the minister, I found out he was going to be teaching at the church the next day. I think it was Reverend Pruitt's church. But anyway, I came back home and got my wife, and we rode back up to Washington, D.C., so that we could be in the midst of his presence, So she embraced the teachings, without hesitation. And we set up the study group in our home. That was about, like I said, 77. I was in the first group to stand with him. In fact, I stood with him right away. And so that's how we met. That's how we put our efforts together to make a sacrifice to get things going, And she was a real dedicated woman in Islam. She is today, And we have one daughter that's in the MGT today named Sister Maria. And I think she's carrying on the work of her mother in a beautiful way. She should be, I believe, at the national training this week. So we're trying to carry it on. We're trying to live it out and do the best we can. There was another part you said, you asked me something else.
I was asking about your length of time in the nation, and that I'm sure it has been full of trials and tribulations.
Oh, yeah, trials and tribulations. That is true.
Yes.
Because I've been in 59 years now. 59 years this time of year right here. Because this is when I joined. And I got my ex in September. I think it was September of 67. But I wrote my letter around May or June of 67. And there have been some real tests, For instance, I was expelled. I got busted in the first resurrection. And when you're wrong, if you take your punishment, you have to come on and redo it, come back to the mosque, not let it run you away. So that was a test. And then on the other side of standing up in 77, it was a period of time that I got another bus on this side. So I had one on each side, but after I did my 90 days, I came back to Islam.
That's right.
And sometime you're going to have that. You're going to be tested to see if you love the teachings. I mean, and then there are certain things that's going to happen between individuals. And you're going to have to stand and handle it the best way with the love and wisdom and guidance of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. And not let things run us away. So many times things come up. I'm saying all that to say, I've seen a lot of brothers through the years, and different tests come up, or dissatisfaction or whatever, and they leave. And since I'm talking about Richmond in that way, I've seen many brothers here, for whatever reason, just didn't hold the handle of Islam, I'm not going to say they're bad people or call them hypocrites or nothing like that. Many of them have returned. And sometimes it takes a breathe. I guess it takes you have to take a second wind to get yourself together, to keep from doing injury to one another, because there's been a lot of instances that we try to. In fact, the minister taught on it over and over and over, about the proper handling of people. And sometimes those in authority may not do it the way you think it should be, but you can't get mad and say I'm gonna quit, because our prayer and our sacrifice, our life and our death is all for Allah. So I take that position,
Yes, sir.
Yeah. My prayer, my sacrifice, my life. And then I have an invested interest too, to be honest with you. I feel like, well, hell, I won't nobody here till I got started with things, and I ain't gonna let nobody run me away. I don't give a damn who it be. Excuse me for saying it that way, but I just have to come straight.
Yes, sir.
Because I've had some issues, with things and people. I'm not gonna go through it in, calling names and things like that, but there have been different things that happen. And sometimes those in authority might take a way that we don't understand, or a way that we have to be patient with. But it's always good to listen to one another,
Yes.
And I think a lot. I think I've always been the kind that would listen to man, and reason with things. But by the same token, that's a two-way street,
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Yeah, the key to it all, it's not my Islam. It's not my program, what I'm trying to say. I'm an entrusted servant of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad.
That's right.
So by being an entrusted servant of his mission, I try to put my best foot forward.
Yes, sir.
And I look for that from others as well,
Yes, sir.
There ain't no politics in Islam, and none of us own the spot that we're in. We should be trying to carry it out the way the minister carried out, reflecting his love, reflecting his wisdom. And so that's the only way to overcome those tests, is to submit to Allah and his messenger.
Praise be to Allah. Beautiful answer. Thank you so much.
I hope it's a good answer. I'm just trying to give it the best I know, Yeah. I'm just speaking straight words from the heart. Yeah, like I said, we're all gonna be tested though. Yeah.
I'll bear witness.
Right.
Thank you so much for that. I think that what makes it an excellent answer is the authenticity, the genuine spirit in which you bring it, and we appreciate that.
Thank you. I've heard many of your good. I've listened to many of your good inspirational messages as well, in spirit as well.
Oh wow! Praise be to Allah. That's very
Yes,
humble.
man. Yeah. All praise due to Allah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we can feed off and learn from one another, if we only be open. Yeah. And I felt your spirit and your wisdom on teachings, on different prayer lines and things of that nature. It's always good to hear another strong Muslim.
All praise is due to Allah. Thank you, Brother Halim.
You're welcome.
And may Allah continue to bless you.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yes,
we
sir.
needed it.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
Yeah. Yeah, we're living in a very critical time, you know. Very critical time. So many of our great ones have left us in the last few years. And so, you know, I thank Allah for all those who've sacrificed for us. I wouldn't take their work for granted. Some I've been very close to, and they labored for Islam so that we could love each other. Brother Akbar, he was close to me. Brother Abdul Halim was close to me. Brother Rahman was close to me. You know, Brother Benny Moore, he was close to me. I mean, some I actually was close to in such a way that I named these people like that because I knew their work and their sincerity. Brother Jabril, the angel Jabril, when he was here, he was at my home 3 days teaching while my wife was Sister Captain here. Even though at that time I wasn't as active, I was active, but not as on scene. But these brothers sacrificed. Brother BR, friend of mine. Brother Thomas Jahar is a personal friend of mine. These great giants of Islam who stood the test and still standing, you know, they give us a lot to pattern after. And so I thank Allah for them. And a lot of them were in the ranks with the minister back in the day, you know.
Yes, sir.
And so when we see one another, I salute them, and I salute those who carry on the work today, you know.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Yeah, I salute them. I'm forever thankful for any and all who doing the work, MGT and FOI, who's keeping this mission going. You know, it's the greatest thing that ever happened to our people. Yeah, the teaching is the greatest thing that ever happened to our people, and I look at it for what it's worth. So many of our people today, they still want to follow the Democratic Party and the Republican Party and this and that, and all of that is going down the tube fast.
Yes, sir.
And so I thank Allah for believers like yourself and myself and my wife and Sister Latifah and Brother Donald and his grandsons and things. We got a great nation coming into power.
Yes, sir, we do.
I'm sitting here with a brother who's here with me. I'm here by myself, with the exception of Brother Matthew. He's a great paper salesman. Not only sell papers, he brings the people out, and he's dedicated to the cause. And Brother McDaniel here he's dedicated to the cause. And when I see people dedicated, I appreciate them. So I have to speak on them, you know.
Yes, sir.
You know, I do hear something sometime that bothers me, and that's from this perspective. It's not about the length of your time, it's about the quality of your work. And so when people do work and do it diligently, it lasts forever. And so I say that to say, you know, don't get caught up on the wrong thing.
Yes, sir.
We got to be faithful to the mission, faithful to the cause.
Yes.
You know, the message been telling us many will be called, but there's only a few that's shown enough dedicated to the mission.
Yes, sir.
Regardless to whom or what, they're going to stay put, you know. And I hope to be in that number. I don't want nothing to turn me or allow me to turn from my nation.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. It's a word of sacrifice. I thank Allah over and over and over again for the day I heard the teaching. You know, because so many young guys I came up with, in fact, the one that took me to Atlanta, we flew in Atlanta together. He rejected Islam and I accepted. He's dead and I'm alive.
Come on.
And that's no job, and I'm forever thankful, you know. Not that I'm look down on him, but I thank Allah for choosing me to accept.
Yes, sir.
You know, yeah, he had the same opportunity, but you know, he didn't accept.
Yes.
So I thank Allah. I see it as a mercy, you know. And I've been in the fire on a couple occasions, and Allah brought me out of it. So I thank him over and over and over again. You know?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I thank Allah for blessing me to be with the minister. I can never get up. I'm just so happy to be able to say I was with the greatest man on earth after the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. Ain't no life like the life the minister lived, you know? And just to be a part of it, to say, hey, I stood up with him. I was there to help him from day one. That's a divine blessing, you know? I remember in the early days, he told me, he said, brother, you're a one-man army down there in Richmond. And to hear that from the voice of the man you love, man, great God Almighty. For him to say that, and I wasn't trying to show off, I'm just trying to do what he expected to be done, you know? Just as he was a one-man army for the whole world, I'm just trying to duplicate his work. And, you know, just trying to make a way that we would get our people. Because the doom is here. It's all over for this country.
Yes, sir, it is.
And we know that if we get to our people, then, of course, it's on them to accept or reject.
Yes, sir.
But at least they can say, I mean, you know, they can't say we didn't reach out. Yeah. I was listening to the most honorable Elijah Muhammad today. He was talking on a tape from the 60s. And he was saying that America will be paid back. That we've been robbed and spoiled and held captive. But now Allah is paying them back. And being that the minister has been told to be silent, the judgment is in full swing now. Yeah, the floods, the hurricane, the tornadoes, the confusion of mind, people going crazy, you know, food now it's got poison in it. But the messenger told us how to eat to live and what to stay from and what to eat and what not and how often to eat. If we follow those directions, we'll survive this thing.
Yes, sir.
What viruses, I mean, you know, the vaccines, stay away from certain things. We've been given divine guidance. And that's why many of us are alive. So I thank Allah for being with the ministers, you know. Yeah. And I love those who've been around him to help him through the years. You know, when you look at the brothers on the E team and travel with him and things and been all over the world with him, it's nothing like being able to hear what they have to bear witness to, the different stories they have. The different sisters who've been around Mother Farrakhan, when you hear their stories, it's just a blessing. You know?
It is. Yes.
Yeah, it's a blessing.
It really is. We thank you so much, Brother Halim. We're going to go into our Eat Well, Be Well segment of how to eat to live.
Right.
if that's okay with you. And we thank you. Am I to go into it, or do I need to turn it back over to Sister Latifah? Welcome to the Eat Well.
Keep going.
I can go? All right. Welcome to the Eat Well, Be Well segment of How to Eat to Live. First of all, let me just say thank you for tuning in to another wonderful episode of WHID-FM. So grateful to have you, Brother Halim. Eat Well, Be Well. I will be reading, excuse me, from How to Eat to Live, actually book 1, book 2. No, book 2. Lengthen Your Life, chapter 3, page 13. It's a very lengthy chapter, but I won't read the whole thing, but just enough to keep us inspired. Brother Halim spoke about the respect for life, and I said, well, respect for life is how to eat to live. Lengthen your life. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, I bear witness that there is no God but Allah and that Muhammad is his messenger. In order to lengthen our lives, we must begin with what we put in us that retains life. Master Fard Muhammad, to whom praises I do forever, came to prolong the lives of the believers. And if this food is not the proper food to eat, it will wear away our body and cut short 70 years of our lives. On the average, our people are living around 62 years. This is a very short life to live on an earth that has been here for trillions of years, and yet the average of us cannot live 100 years under the present system of civilization of wickedness. A person who eats like an animal 3 or 4 times a day and all between meals cannot retain a beautiful appearance. Eating 3 times a day and all between meals removes the body's attractiveness in many ways. The present civilization is an enemy to righteousness. Since they were put over us to rule us, they had to find a different way of ruling us other than the good old way of our fathers, who lived several hundreds of years, some nearly 1,000 years. If we met a man today who said he had been on the planet 500 years, we would think that he was lying, because our short lives of less than 100 years led us to believe that it is false to think that people can live several hundred years. It is all in the food and drink that we put into our bodies that lengthens our shortens our lives. Stay away from poison, food, and drinks, and eat to live. I would like to take us to the Holy Quran, Surah 35, Ayat 6. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful. Surely the devil is your enemy, so take him for an enemy. He only invites his party to be the companions of the burning fire. There were 2 words that were used in How to Eat to Live. One was retain, and the other one was enemy. When you think about the word retain, it means to continue to have something, keep possession of, maintain, and preserve. Enemy, a person who is actively opposed or hostile to someone or something. Opponent. We have an enemy that is actively opposed to How to Eat to Live, that came straight from God in person, Master Fard Muhammad. Thank you for listening. I greet you all in the greeting words of peace. May Allah bless us all. Assalamu alaikum, family. Brother West.
Wa alaikum salam. Yes, ma'am. With that, we're going to go to our announcements portion.
Hi, Assalamu alaikum, family. Thank you for joining us tonight as we close with a few of our announcements. If you enjoyed what you heard today and you want to learn more, then you're invited to study with the Nation of Islam to learn the teachings of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad as taught by the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. And you can register online at www.noi.org. You can see the webcast. You can go to noi.org, go study for study group. You can join by going to www.noi.org, join, or you can actually call 1-773-324-6000 and learn more to study and join the Nation of Islam. And of course, if you want to hear from the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad through the voice of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, then the Final Call Radio, finalcall.com, and listen live. So tune in, and you can tune in on all of your devices from your desktop to your phone. You can listen to Final Call Radio 24 hours a day. And for the greatest paper on the planet Earth, the Final Call newspaper. There's no paper like it. You can get it delivered to your door. You can get it on digital and have it delivered to your desktop and your phone. And we want to remember our brothers and sisters who are incarcerated, and we can take subscriptions to send to them to make sure that they can stay abreast of this teaching. It is the greatest minister that we have after the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. And if you would love to get a reading for your children, especially as summer is coming around and schools are closing, we have a book that has been authored and published by the producer of WHID-FM, Brother Donald Muhammad. I Never Knew I Am All That. And it is a great read for young children to learn themselves and learn their history with illustrations by Sister Amina Lay. I Never Knew I'm All That, available on Amazon at a wonderful and affordable price. And if you're in the Richmond, Virginia area, you can attend Muhammad Mosque number 24 as the guest of Student Minister Tracy Muhammad every Sunday. Come and hear the reality of God at the Hobson Lodge at 801 Prince Hall Drive, 11 o'clock a.m. And you can go and find more information on noirichmond.org, or you can call 1-800-450-7836. And that's Richmond, Virginia, Muhammad Mosque number 24, every Sunday at 11 o'clock a.m., 801 Prince Hall Drive, Richmond, Virginia. And if you're in the Baltimore area and you're interested in the teachings, you can join the Nation of Islam at Muhammad Mosque number 6 in Baltimore, Maryland, with Brother Student Minister Imam Salam Muhammad, who is the student imam of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. And they meet at 11 o'clock on Sundays at 2801 North Dukeland Street in Baltimore, Maryland. You can call for information 410-367-9371 or visit noibmore.com. And that's the Nation of Islam at Muhammad Mosque number 6 in Baltimore, Maryland, 11 o'clock a.m. with student imam Abdul Salam Muhammad, 2801 North Dukeland Street, Baltimore, Maryland. And so we thank you. And of course, we want to thank Brother Donald Muhammad for producing this wonderful show. And we thank his partner, Sister Cynthia Muhammad, who is always on the scene. May Allah bless all of you. And we turn it back to Brother West for prayer and close out. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam, man. We thank you for your contribution, Sister Latifa, and then also Sister Rita. Also, big shout out to our dear brother, Brother Abdul Halim, for his wonderful answers, sharing with us his beautiful testimony. We don't get to hear from our brothers and sisters who were prior to 75 very often, so it's always very enlightening when we do. At this time, we're going to close on prayer. Attention prayer. Bismillahir-Rahmanir-Rahim. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Ar-Rahmanir-Rahim. Malik Yawm-Din. إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين. Assalamu alaikum, family.
This house is dedicated to knowledge and to the spreading of knowledge. Elijah Muhammad inspired new thought, new mind, new way of civilization among black people. But he wanted a house from which a light could be lifted up to give guidance to all who would be guided as this world begins to close down. This National Center for the re-education and retraining of the black man and woman, but for the totality of the human family on our planet. I named this mosque after the only woman that the Quran names a chapter after, the mother of Jesus, Maryam. All human beings need to be re-educated. That is the purpose of the National Center.